If you thought 2022 has more great video games than usual, you ain't seen nothing yet. Yes, we've had everything from Sifu to Tunic, Elden Ring to Horizon Forbidden West with a side of TMNT, Shredder's Revenge and Cuphead's immaculate DLC, but there are so many more titles you at least need to see some gameplay of. I'm Scott from WhatCulture.com and these are the 9 best hidden gem video games of 2022. Number 9. Dawn of the Monsters. Sadly not a spiritual sequel to PS2 gem War of the Monsters, Dawn of the Monsters is instead part of the biggest comeback genre of our time, the side-scrolling brawler. The story revolves around a horde of colossal beasts called the Nephilim, who invade Earth and reduce human civilization to rubble. Decades later, humanity has befriended 4 kaiju, using them as guardians to smash those creatures to pieces. The plot may be unimaginative, but this 2.5D side-scroller does a lot to separate itself from other beat-em-ups like Final Fight and Streets of Rage. Beautiful Joe-like animations make every punch and kick look painful and beautiful at the same time. Not only does the game boast a diverse selection of enemies, moves, and show-stopping cataclysm attacks, but 2-player co-op also lets you batter these abominations with a friend. Number 8. Weird West. Weird West is not a perfect game. The camera work is a little sporadic, the upgrade system could be better, and it's let down by a few technical issues. However, Wolfeye Studios' twin-stick shooter is full of so many creative ideas, it's impossible not to be wowed. Taking control of a gunslinger, you navigate around the American frontier, picking up bounties, purchasing supplies, and facing off against wraiths, zombies, and werewolves. However, what really sells Weird West is its array of unique mechanics. It has a permadeath mode, so you can't just try again if your team gets slaughtered in an ambush, because once your buddies are killed, they're gone. Permanent effects also apply to your character, since your actions will carry over upon each playthrough after you respawn. Because of this mechanic, every mistake you make has consequences, forcing the player to really strategize across each mission. Many stat elements are also randomized for each playthrough, so you'll never have the same experience twice. Due to this randomization, as well as the wagon load of side quests, allies, and variances in how things play out, Weird West is very much built to be something you'll come back to across the whole year. Number 7. DNF Duel. In case you missed the build across the last few years, Arc System Works are having a bit of a moment right now. Having developed a game engine that literally renders gorgeous anime fighting in 3D whilst making it look 2D, it's been off to the races for a series of diverse, unequaled fighting games. Dragon Ball FighterZ, Blaze Blue, Cross Tag Battle, Guilty Gear Strive, now they've turned in Dungeon and Fighter Duel. Within minutes of playing, you can tell Duel has everything you want. The roster is delightfully varied, the fighting mechanics easy to pick up, and it's one of few fighters that has 0 issues online. What makes Arc System titles light years ahead of the competition is that aesthetic. Despite being a 2D fighter, Duel's animations are more jaw-dropping than anything you'll see in a Tekken or a Smash Bros. Each character moves so fluidly it feels like the latest cutting-edge animation seen in the likes of Demon Slayer made playable. Seriously, just look at what these developers are making and making playable. Number 6. Teardown. Nowadays there are so many games that let you create anything you can imagine. Minecraft took this to a whole new level, allowing gamers to construct the Death Star Minas Tirith or a perfectly scaled version of Denmark. Really, look it up. No matter how fun it is to create though, it is far more enjoyable and faster to destroy. And if you're anything like me and you reminisce on when it felt like every dev under the sun was experimenting with Havoc physics, look no further than Teardown. In this sandbox title, you use guns, sledgehammers, and bombs to cause as much carnage as possible. As levels become larger, you'll get access to bigger and more destructive tools, such as trucks, cranes, excavators, and propane tanks to obliterate everything in sight. Because everything is made of destructible voxels, you can literally wipe out anything in a pixel showering style that encourages you to hurl explosives at weak points or drive vehicles in any direction where they'll cause the most damage. Sometimes in life and video games, it's the simple pleasures. Number 5. DORFROMANTIK. DORFROMANTIK is German for village romanticization, which perfectly sums up this city-building puzzle-based game. By attaching hexagonal titles to one another in a charming, relaxing way, you can populate a custom biome with villages, forests, and railways. As placed tiles can't be moved, you need to be careful on how you arrange your miniature world, since the game ends when you run out of tiles. However, DORFROMANTIK constantly generates addictive, doable quests, rewarding you with bonus tiles, sparking ideas for more creation, and keeping your play space ever expanding. Designed to be a chill escape of a game, some cheery accompanying tunes and picturesque visuals make DORFROMANTIK the perfect encapsulation of its namesake. Number 4. Syberia: The World Before. If you still have a sour taste in your mouth after playing the god-awful Syberia 3, then fret no more. The 4th official installment sets everything right. As before, you venture into a fictional European nation as Kate Walker, where she encounters awesome machines and takes part in clockwork mechanism puzzles. What sets this steampunk title apart from its predecessors and the competition is an emphasis on story and stunning visuals respectively. Every aspect of Syberia: The World Before is designed not just to entertain, but to enchant you. Scores of contraptions whiz by in the background, puzzles are meticulously assembled with moving parts and locks of various sizes, and the land of Osterthal feels like a lived-in world, encouraging you to interact with it as much as possible. Point and clicks have oscillated wildly in popularity over the years, but with such a veteran franchise making a return after 5 years since Syberia 3 and 18 years since Part 2, The World Before is one of the best. Number 3. Card Shark. With card-playing video games like Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering Arena, and Legends of Runeterra dominating the genre, it feels like anything new just doesn't stand a chance. Thankfully, Card Shark caught everyone's interest due to one key difference in the card-playing department: you can cheat. Now, Card Shark isn't a full deck builder or card game per se, it's more a set of minigames and a killer story, but it is about playing cards, and more importantly, teaching you, the player, alongside your move protagonist, a set of magic and card tricks to fool your opponents. Each trick gets taught in a way that you can learn it yourself, something I think is insanely cool. And as the story unfolds, you'll have to get better with each minigame and set of timed animations to outwit increasingly aware NPCs realizing what you're doing. Set in 18th century France, the soundtrack is filled with sublime pieces by legendary composers, arranged by one Andrea Boccadoro, including Bach, Debussy, and Chevalier de Saint-Georges, among many others. Embodying the panache, swagger, and character of your teacher Saint-Germain, also a real-world adventurer from the time, makes Card Shark one hell of a full package. Number 2. Paradise Killer. Okay, technically Paradise Killer debuted in 2020, but after receiving a massive update in 2022 that brought it to consoles, also including new characters, missions, bonuses, and far better light rendering, Kaizen Gaming's detective title feels like a whole new game. At its core, the game follows the same formula as most deduction titles. There's been a murder between a series of otherwise unkillable gods, and it's up to you to piece together clues and question suspects to solve the mystery. However, this is an open-world investigation. Similar to LA Noire or certain Sherlock Holmes games, the likelihood of identifying the murderer is entirely based on how much time you're willing to put in. If you want, you can bring suspects to trial earlier on, but you're better off choosing who to talk to, cross-referencing evidence yourself, and living in the gorgeous world the devs have created until you're absolutely sure. With a slick, hyper-coloured art style, pitch-perfect performances, and the best funky city pop soundtrack of the year, Paradise Killer is a detective game like no other. And number 1, Citizen Sleeper. Few games have left such a mark on me this year than Citizen Sleeper. A gorgeously designed game meant to put you in a specific headspace of what it might be like to abandon a different body entirely on the far reaches of space. You play a sleeper android, housing a duplicate consciousness from your original self, copied over in an attempt to escape your corporate overlords. Essentially an open world RPG in terms of your options. Each day you're given up to 5 dice to roll however you like. You can use them in conversation, to perform jobs and get currency, try to steal something, hack a computer, etc. Or you can definitively bank them to access specific data points that flesh out the cyberspace side of things your new body now has access to. Each day your android body is dying and will need a serum, so it's up to you which characters you befriend, how you spend your dice, which multi-day timers you want to set in motion, and how you want to deal with a bounty hunter slowly tracking you down. There is a lot going on, but developer and writer Gareth Damian Martin crafts a script that explores every facet of the human condition. The isolation and friendship we flit between, the reasons we do what we do, the need to take a minute and enjoy a bowl of noodles, or the want to be part of a larger community to help more lives alongside your own. With a ton of different endings, awesome character art, and a memorable atmospheric score, I cannot recommend Citizen Sleeper enough. And those are our picks for the best hidden gem video games of 2022. Let me know your favourites down in the comments below, and please subscribe to the WhatCulture Gaming Podcast. For now, I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com, and I'll catch you soon.